ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुराः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We have been discussing Sarvatma Bhava, which is recognizing Atma, oneself, as Sarvasya Atma and Sarvasya Adhara. And to all those of you who have been asking questions to me in satsang and in person, what about love? What does Vedanta say about love? How come we haven't heard anything about love? Here, I'm very happy to say, here is the answer. Here is the answer. In fact, Vedanta is nothing but love. But it's not the kind of love that one associates with objects. That is what we have to understand. Why? Because it is that which is beyond likes and dislikes, and so we think of love in the empirical world, we think of love as a strong like. A strong like is still a raga and it comes with its, with its twin, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It comes along with its twin. What is that? Dvesha. That is the only kind of love that one has, without exposure to Vedanta, that one has understood, that one has, what's the word for it, experienced. This is what one has understood, this is what one has experienced. So I love this object, I love this flower, I love this pot, I love this recipe, I love this food, and I love this place. This place I just absolutely love. And then that is all. How long does that love last? Sureshwaracharya says that sarve samyogaha viyogantaha sarve samyogaha. So that love, Sureshwaracharya, the direct disciple of Adi Shankara, says all the coming together. So the fusion of subject and object, in other words, the expression that I love something or somebody, and the connection to that love lasts as long as they don't fall apart and they don't go away. So all love lasts until separation. And then what? People cry. No. So sad, I can't handle it, I won't do this. Oh, this person left me, that object which I love, I can't get anymore. I can't handle it, I can't live without it. All these problems are there because one is, this is what the thing is, the object of love being finite, and the subject also, meaning the ahankara here, who is in love with the object, also is finite, fickle, changing. So we don't really have a concept of eternity, and we don't understand what eternity is because we are so much worried about time, and everything we know is in time. We don't know anything out of time. So neither do we know the concept of eternity in the regular life, nor we know the concept of eternal love, nor we know the concept of love that never turns into hate. That is the love of the Atma for the Atma. And that is the love that is, there is no off and for. Fifth case and sixth case and all do not, do not apply here. That is the love that is I. And when I am abiding in this I am all love. I am all love. A love that never turns into hate. How can you be so sure? What if somebody treats you badly? I'll just walk away. That's what the person will say. The person will just walk away, not subject oneself to the treatment because one knows that. And so a love that never turns into its opposite. Why? Because here I can use the word, it transcends the opposite. It transcends all the opposites. Whereas the love that is caught in the oppositional kind of a rubric, a model of opposition, will soon turn into hatred. And so, what should I do to be this kind of a love? I have to, I have to recognize myself as the only source of love. No other source is there. Nothing can make me happy. Nobody can make me fulfilled. No one can make me feel good. No thing can make me feel good. The love is centered on the I. What kind of I? The timeless, non wanting, non demanding, always appreciative, never displeased, always contented I. So then what should I do? I have to discover this I as one with Ishvara, as the cause of the universe. And when I do that, then things become very, very, very easy. Then it is not a problem at all. I have to discover this. And in this discovery alone, I become a jnani. So a jnani is nothing but love, but not the kind of love that one is used to. Somebody who is very effusive, somebody who says, I love you, and somebody who gives a hug. We are used to that being love. That may be expressions, but think of a love that doesn't even need to be expressed. Think of a love. Can you visualize a love that needs no expression, no language, and yet it is very much palpable even by somebody who doesn't know how to speak, even by animals, etc. Like this, it is said that when the Buddha was sitting under a tree, just being with himself for 100-mile radius, all the animals and all the people were happy. Nobody was upset. Nobody was upset. Nobody would quarrel. No matter where he went, for 100-mile radius, everything would be tranquil. Even the lion, I'm imagining this, would pat the rabbit on the head. Oh, how cute! This is how it was. It is like that is the power of Atmajnanam. And then the people around, even the animals, understand. The animals understand this person will not hurt me. More or less they understand, unless they themselves have been hurt and they have some issues. People also, unless they have been really badly hurt, they understand this person cannot hurt me. Why? All love. And that is exactly the phala of Atma Jnanam. And this is what is this is the section we are talking about. First, to graduate from seeing the I is separate from the body mind sense complex, step number 1. Step number 2, I am the I in all bodies. Step number 3, I am in the bodies. No, 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 all bodies are in me. Remember always the example. Space is in the pot? Question mark. No, no, no. Pot is in space. Everything is in space. Everything exists as though in me. This is what is called Sarvatma Bhava. Continuing with the verse number 32, no, 31, I think. Verse number 31. Let's see. 32, yes. Verse number 32, we have to look at. And it's the culmination of what we have been talking about. Very beautiful. And so let us chant. Atmaupamyena sarvatra, Atmaupamyena sarvatra, Samam pashyati yorjuna, Samam pashyati sayorjuna, Sukham va yadi va dukkham, Sukham va yadi va dukkham, Sayogi paramo mataha, Sayogi paramo mataha. Atma aupamyena, Atmaupamyena, Atmanaha aupamyena pashyati yaha. He Arjuna, yaha sarvatra atma aupamyena samam pashyati. And so here, O Arjuna, yaha, the one who, sarvatra, in all situations, at all times, under all conditions. Not only when the going is good, I'm happy, and then after that I'm unhappy. No. In all conditions, in all situations, at all times, what does the person do? The yogi. The yogi is being described. Yogi here is jnani. Sarvatra pashyati. Under all conditions, at all times, in all places, one sees. What does the yogi see? Samam pashyati. Sees everything as one. But how? How does the person see everything as one? Atma aupamyena. Seeing, keeping oneself as the standard. Meaning, I don't do anything to anybody because I don't want it to be done to me. What I don't want to be done to me, I don't do to anyone. That's why Atma aupamyena pashyati. Sees everybody as myself alone. When I see everybody as myself alone, I will not hurt anybody because they are all me. In the worldly or the material or the empirical concept of love, which is chased soon, quickly by hate. Love and hatred in the empirical level are like dog and cat. One comes and the other one chases it away. That's exactly how it is. Sometimes the cat chases the dog, sometimes the dog chases the cat. So, what is the thing here? It is samam pashyati. That is not there. Why? Because everybody is like me. Everybody is me. So if I don't want something, I don't do that because everybody is me. Samam pashyati. And sukham va yadiva dukkham. So if somebody is going through a hard time, I don't take it on because that what they are going through is mithya, no doubt. But I am empathetic. I am sympathetic. I don't need to take it on, but I understand what is happening. I can feel it and I can see that they are in pain. And if there is something I can help, if I can teach them Vedanta, if I can help them in somewhere, I don't hang back. I help them. This is the idea. So, sukham va yadiva dukkham. sees oneself in all, regardless of whether the person is in happiness or the person is not in happiness. And so this concludes the whole thing about Sarvatma Bhava. Now we have an idea of Sarvatma Bhava, and all this is prepping us for the next chapter. Even though we have more than 10 verses to go before the close of the this chapter, we have what is that? Lord Krishna is mindful that the whatever is said now should connect to whatever comes later. Whatever comes later should connect to whatever has gone now. And so in the 7th chapter we will see a drastic change in the topic. The drastic change in the topic is, what is that? Ishvara. Up till now it was all about me. It was how should I eat? How should I pray? How should I live? How much should I sleep? How much should I eat? What should I do to get rid of samsara? And how should I understand myself as separate from the body, mind, sense complex? How should I sit? How should I meditate? What should I do? What should I not do? We have been coasting along with little touches of Ishvara here and there. But really, the topic that is Ishvara is only being introduced right now. And here earlier, if I can just scroll back and show you, where is that? Yeah. सर्वभूतस्थम आत्मानं सर्वभूतानि च आत्मनि ईक्षते. One sees oneself in everything and everything is in oneself. And then what? That everything happens to be Ishvara. That is changed to Yaha Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvatram Cha Mai Pashyati. So Atma Darshanam is what? Ishvara Darshanam. How do I get Ishvara Darshanam? I get Ishvara Darshanam by recognizing how Ishvara is unfolded through the Shastra. The cause of the universe, Jagat Karanam Brahma, the one that is essentially formless but is the overlord of all. I see Ishvara, I understand Ishvara through the temporary tatastha lakshana of the being endowed with the epithet of the causality of the universe, and then I see Ishvara as Chaitanya Swarupa, which is myself alone, as awareness without any conditions, and unconditioned awareness, unqualified as it were awareness, consciousness. So first I see myself as endowed with upadhi, endowed with all these accoutrements, body, mind, senses, etc. And then I see myself as consciousness free of all these upadhis. And the two are therefore one and the same. All that will come from verses 7 to 12. We will be shifting from Tvam Pada Vichara to Tat Pada Vichara. But not yet. Why? Because Arjuna, who has been patiently listening from verse 2 of chapter 5, finally asks a question. As I said in the last class, he's been a very good boy. And so the next two questions are, the next two verses are Arjuna's question. Arjuna Uvacha. अर्जुन उवाच योऽयं योगस्त्वया प्रोक्तः योऽयं योगस्त्वया प्रोक्तः साम्येन मधुसूदन एतस्याहं न पश्यामि चञ्चलत्वात् स्थितिं स्थिरां चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवदृढम् तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायोरिव सुदुष्करम् वायोरिव सुदुष्करम् श्रीभगवानुवाच श्रीभगवानुवाच असंशयं महाबाहो असंशयं महाबाहो मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम् मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम् अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येण च गृह्यते वैराग्येण च गृह्यते असंशयात्मना योगः असंशयात्मना योगः दुष्प्राप इति मे मतिः दुष्प्राप इति मे मतिः वश्यात्मना तु यतता वश्यात्मना तु यतता शक्यो वाप्तुम उपायतः शक्यो वाप्तुमुपायतः. This is the back and forth between Arjuna and Lord Krishna, part of the Samvada dialogue. Arjuna Uvacha means Arjuna went skydiving. So Arjuna Uvacha, what did he Uvacha? Yaha, that which yam yahayam yoga, this yoga that you just taught. Yoga here means actually coming together of what? Jiva, Ishvara, mentally, cognitively, coming together, seeing myself as Ishvara, seeing myself as Atma. So yahayam yoga tvaya proktah, by which by you it was told. Uktah should have been enough, but proktah you told in great detail. Prakarshena uktah proktah. By whom? Tvaya, by you it was unfolded in great detail. And what was the hallmark of the jnanam that you gave? It was in the form of samya, oneness. So this knowledge, this yoga here means knowledge. This knowledge of oneness, samya, which was told by you in great detail, etasya aham na pashyami. That which you have taught very, very lovingly and in such great detail, I am unable to understand. Why are you unable to understand, Arjuna? Don't you have a head? Yes, I have a head. Then why are you unable to understand? The reason he gives here. Chanchalatvat sthitim sthiram. So, sthiram sthitim chanchalatvat, meaning because my mind is fraught with chanchalya. What is chanchalya? Chanchalya means moving. My mind is constantly moving from here to there, and I am unable to focus. I am having a pratibandha. This is the new section, by the way. This is the last topic of the 6th chapter. If you recall, and if you look at your notes, I had given you 5 topics that are going to be covered by the 6th chapter, and this is the 5th topic. Maybe it may not be the last, but this is definitely a different topic than what went then dhyana phalam and jnana phalam and the jnani swarupa, etc. Okay, so he says chanchalatvat. Remember, the hetu, the reason will always be in the 5th case. Chanchalatvam asti. Chanchalatvat, because of suffering from chanchalyam. So I am not able to see, who? Madhusudana, the slayer of the demon called Madhu. Who is Madhu? Ahankara. Sweet. And sweetly, it just takes up more and more space. Sweetly, it is, even though it's finite, it just poses as an imposter by posing to be, to be, what is that? To be what? To be very steady and sweet and eternal. Even though it's time bound, it poses to be, it pretends to be eternal. That's why it is called Madhu. So Madhusudana, the slayer of the Ahankara. I don't see a foundation for it. Chanchalatvat. Sthiram, I don't see as sthiram sthitim na pashyami. Etasya, for this yoga, see, this is how it should be. Etasya, what? Etasya samyasya or etasya yogasya sthiram sthitim na pashyami. I don't see a proper foundation. Why chanchalatvat? What should be the foundation? The mind should be the foundation where this knowledge goes, from where it flows into another mind. If one becomes a teacher, the mind should be the foundation. So here, sthiram sthitim na pashyami. I don't see the mind being still. Why? Because of chanchalyam, restlessness. It's constantly moving, he says. And further, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna. The definition of the mind is what? Moving. Oh Krishna, the mind is moving all the time. It's restless. Pramathi. Pramathi means it is stubborn, obstinate. Balavat. Balavat means what? Strong. It has a mind of its own. And dridam, it is certain that it doesn't want to change. So he describes the mind in a wonderful way. Very, very wonderful way. What does he say? The mind is very restless. And pramathi means it makes mistakes all the time. It's impulsive. Balavat, strong. Dridham, stubborn. It is stubborn, it is strong, it is impetuous, it is impulsive. And for this mind, nigraham, having a say over the way of the mind, is not possible, Arjuna. Tasya, manasaha, nigraham means the management of this mind, O Arjuna. I do not think it is possible. Na manye, tasya aham, tasya, where did it go? Yeah, tasya aham nigraham na manye. Na manye means I don't think it is possible. And pramadhi, tasya aham, or we can take it manye. Manye means he gives a comparison here. This getting a hold of this mind is just not possible. Just like what? Vayoho iva sudushkaram. Sudushkaram vayoho iva. It's like saying, if you are telling me, excuse me, if you are telling me to catch the mind and make it sit for meditation, you may as well tell me to catch the wind and what? Make it sit for meditation. That's all. Catch the mind, make it sit for meditation is the same as catch the wind and make it sit for meditation. There is no difference. Can you make the wind sit and meditate? No. And in the same way, why? What is the similarity between the mind and the wind? Both of them are blowing. Both of them are constantly moving. All the time. Blowing. Mind moving. And so, vayoho iva sudushkaram. Dushkaram would have been enough. Dushkaram means it is difficult to control. It is difficult. Dushkara, difficult. Nigrahitum, dushkaram. It is difficult to manage. Just like it is difficult to control the wind. In the same way, it is difficult to manage the mind. There are many similarities between the mind and the wind. Both of them don't stay in one place, being the biggest similarity between both of them. Here, here Arjuna is becoming very poetic. Vayoho iva sudushkaram. Dushkaram would have been enough, but it is, what is that? Su is talked about. It's nicely difficult, meaning it's really very difficult. So Chanchalam, he complains, the mind is going all over the place, Krishna. It is so stubborn. Don't think I have not tried to sit for meditation. I have tried. What comes? Only difficult thoughts come. And then what else comes? Sleep comes. Those are the only two things that come. Meditation and all this wonderful phala of Atma Jnanam, Nididhyasanam, and preparing the mind for knowledge, all that you have talked about, I don't see it at all. How can the mind do this? You may as well tell me to go bring you a fistful of air. I will do that if you tell me to do that. That is by far easier than to sit in meditation. This is the crux of his questioning. Now, the Shastra very happily acknowledges the, what is that called, the difficulties in meditation. Shastra doesn't have a problem with acknowledging the difficulties in meditation because they are there. They are there. 4 kinds of pratibandhas or obstacles in meditation are acknowledged. What are they? 2 I have already talked about in other contexts. First one is laya. Laya means what? Gone. It happens in Vedanta class also because it's a meditative class, and then it's just gone. Whenever the mind is told to focus, it relaxes and sleeps instead. Okay, so laya. And the second one also I have talked about. What is that? Starts with a V. Hint, hint, hint. Vikshepa. Okay, laya number 1, vikshepa number 2. So these 2 we have talked about. What is vikshepa? Kship, to throw. V plus kship, to forcefully throw. In other words, project. So what is the projection in meditation? Distraction. The mind moves away and I feel powerless to bring it back or even to notice that it has moved away. And why do I feel powerless to notice that it has moved away? Because I have moved away with it. I have followed the mind. The mind has become balavat. It has become balavat. It is already pramathi. It keeps making mistakes. If you tell it to come back once, it is not enough. And it is dridam. It has a mind of its own. The only thing you can say for certain about the mind is what? Never mind. That's the only thing you can say about the mind. So pramathi, balavat, dridam. This is what it is. And so 2 kinds of obstacles are very common, laya and vikshepa. This we have talked about in other contexts. And then Gaudapadacharya talks about 2 other obstacles to meditation. Let us see what they are. The third one is called kashaya. Kashaya. Kashaya means many things. Kashaya means unconscious. Kashaya, unconscious. The unconscious mind is an obstacle because it can cause a certain paralysis. It can cause a certain upset. It can cause some bubbles of past memories and hurts which have not been processed can surface in the meditation, and that is called kashaya. Okay, and then finally rasaswadanam or rasaswadanam is the fourth obstacle to meditation. The first two we have seen, and that's why I'm not going to go into them too much. Everybody knows also distraction, mind moves away, laya, mind goes to sleep. So then what are these other two? Kashaya. Kashaya means that there is a certain, all the pains and sorrows of childhood which one has not had the chance to process, and which comes out in everyday interactions unmindfully. Suddenly one gets angry, and then one wonders, why did I get angry? What's wrong with me? Well, that poor person who I screamed at didn't even do anything, did not even deserve it. This is the unconscious mind. This is Kashaya. And the Kashaya itself has a fourfold, there are fourfold responses within the self based on this Kashaya, which this Kashaya, which the modern psychologists acknowledge as the four F's, because all these responses start with the word F. So one is fright. Fright is also a very interesting response. And so let's say the child, the child was there, and something, some difficult situation happened. The parents got angry or something like that, and the child doesn't know why. Maybe the parents are not even angry at the child; they are angry at one another. But the child is very frightened, and then so fright is the primal response. And that fright is sitting there as a response, and then after a while what happens? It becomes a habitual response throughout one's life, especially if it is not interrogated. So whenever one is in an uncomfortable situation, one gets frightened. So the child got frightened. So based on that child's fright, as an adult also, any kind of similar situation, the first response is fright. So some people are bhaya pradhanaha. They are fright predominant. This is the first this is the primary response where they go. Then there is flight. Flight means gone from that situation. When the mother is coming behind you with a rolling pin, what will the 5-year-old do? The naughty 5-year-old will just run and hide under the bed, out to play, goes to somebody else's house and complains, my mother is running behind me with a rolling pin, save me. Goes to the next door auntie and says, don't let her beat me, I have been very good. And so flight is the next kind of response. And so then when that response becomes coagulated or frozen in time, what happens is that each time there is a difficulty, the child runs away. And as an adult, one becomes an escapist, afraid of commitment. Because why? It will be a difficult situation. The child may not remember the rolling pin, the adult may not remember the rolling pin, but somehow the rolling pin memory is somewhere there locked. So the incidents may not be remembered, but the memory is there in all the cells of the body. And so any kind of difficulty comes, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And then really, this is Arjuna's predominant response, looks like. One would not think, because such a great warrior, and all this time he had hidden the response. But then when confronted by this difficult situation, what does he do? I'm out of here. I'm gone. So this is called flight. And certain people are flight pradhanaha, meaning their primary go-to is flight. And you can think about yourself and see which ones, which response you most often take in life. It will become very, very clear. Then fright, then flight, and then freeze. The third one is called freeze. Like the deer in the headlights, you are driving at night and one deer comes, sees the headlights, and instead of running away, it stands right in front of the car. And it all is incumbent upon you to say a quick prayer and put the leg on the brake, put the foot on the brake, hoping that it will stop before it reaches the deer. What's wrong with the deer? Why didn't it know? Freeze, paralyzed by shock. So sometimes the responses to unpleasant situation for children sometimes is shock, and that becomes a pradhana. That has a certain pradhanyam. So even as an adult, so when something difficult is told, the person just stares. What? Oh, okay. Doesn't cry, doesn't show any kind of response. You have to slap them, you have to put some water on their face. Like that. Like supposing, let's say, God forbid this should happen, but some loss is there, some bad news comes. And so they are unable to cry, they are unable to be angry, they are unable to show any emotions. They are just like this. Stabda. Stabda means like a tree. Like a tree, they are standing there unmoving. And this is called the freeze response. Some people are freeze pradhanaha. They just freeze in times of calamities, in a calamitous situation, in a difficult situation. What do? They just freeze. And then finally, the last F is what? The last F is flight, freeze, fright, and fawn. Fawn doesn't mean baby deer, even though it is spelt in the same way. Fawn here means try to make up with the person who is angry at you by pleasing them. You keep fawning over them. And this is the child's response, because the child doesn't know what to do. These parents are so angry, or they are upset with me. What to do? And then, so sometimes it is a fawning response. The child will try to do something cute to entertain the mother, because all the child wants is for the mother and father to be smiling at it, not to be angry. Oh my God, they look so angry, I have to take care of them. No, the child doesn't have to take care of the parents, but it is its feeling, because its brain is not developed. It thinks, I have to be the parent in this situation. They are constantly upset. I have to take care of them. I have to make them laugh. So it will do one silly dance standing on the table, and the parents, if they are able to come out of their whatever gloom they were in, and they are able to clap and laugh a little bit. And then they become dependent on the child rescuing them from their moods. And for the child, it becomes a habit to be the clown, the comedian, the one who is very positive and says, no, don't worry, it'll all be okay. In fact, the roles are reversed. The parents have to fawn over the child. Here, the child is fawning over the parents. So the Kashaya includes all the hurts of the past and the frozen responses. And don't get confused. I'm not referring to freeze response. The responses that have become chronic, that's a better word. Chronic responses to difficult situations triggered by the unconscious mind. This is Kashaya. So in the meditation, the unshed tears will come, the unprocessed fear will come, and along with that, the regular way of handling things will come. The person who is a fleer, the one who is into flight, as the predominant response, will want to get up and run away from the meditation. The person who is who has fright will be frightened of meditation or going deeper. And the person who has the fawn response will be taking care of everybody else except oneself in meditation. Will be worried about how the lighting is, what is happening, because can't feel safe. And the person who has the freeze response will also find it very uncomfortable to progress in the meditation. This is Kashaya. Then the last one talked about by Gaudapadacharya is the Rasaswadaha. Because just like kashaya, difficult memories come in the meditative situation. Also, wonderful memories can also come sometimes. Everybody's life is mishra. It is not just only happy situation or only calm situation or only difficult situation. So the wonderful memories also come in meditation. They bubble up from what? The same unconscious. Oh, it was so nice when I was small and the parents would get along. Alas, now they are not together, but it was so wonderful when I was small. I felt so safe with both of them together. That memory can come. And then a memory of some holiday taken when nobody was mad, nobody was angry, that memory comes. And when that memory comes, and also physically also the body is relaxed, so sometimes pleasant sensations come in the body. There is a feeling of lightness, there is a feeling of levitation, all that comes in the body. And then what? Then the person feels very good. And then what does the ahankara do? Catches hold of these wonderful feelings and wants to prolong the feelings. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I'm enjoying myself. Wonderful, wonderful. Wrong. This is not meditation. This is a pratibandha called rasaswada. This is a pratibandha called tasting the victuals of wonderful memories from the past. This is an obstacle. So do not attach to the wonderful things and do not also cling on to the kashaya. Kashaya also you leave, and then rasaswada also you leave. There is a famous verse in the Gaudapada Karika and very beautiful. You can write it down if you want. And how does that go? Layet sambodhayet chittam. लये संबोधयेत् चित्तम् विक्षिप्तं च शमयेत् पुनः लये संबोधयेत् चित्तं विक्षिप्तं च पुनः शमयेत् सकषायं विजानीयात् संप्राप्त्वा तं न विचालयेत् नास्वादयेत् न आस्वादयेत् रसं तत्र निस्संगो प्रज्ञया भवेत्. Very beautiful advice. So all the four pratibandhas, obstacles, are talked about along with their upayas. So we have talked about the pratibandhas, the obstacles to meditation. So let us look at what Gaudapadacharya gives as upaya. And why should we do that? We are studying Bhagavad Gita, not Mandukya Upanishad, because it happens to be the same thing that Lord Krishna is also going to say. That's why. So Gaudapadacharya says that laye, in sleep, sambodhayet chittam. Call the mind, wake up the mind, sleeping. Oh, wake up, come on. This is not the time to sleep, this is the mind to meditate. Bring a little water for meditation and keep sprinkling the eyes. Take a few deep breaths. All these are there. Get up and sit down. Do whatever it needs to take. Change the position. Lage, very simple. When the sleep comes, remove the sleep. Remove the cause of the sleep. And what is the cause of the sleep? Either there is some backlog, in which case I need to sleep at the correct time. Otherwise, if I don't sleep when I'm meant to sleep, sleep will come when it's not meant to come. Then vikshepa, what to do? Vikshiptam, when the mind goes away into some kind of a dreamland while it is awake, then vikshiptam cha shamayet punaha. Bring it back quietly, quickly. Whenever it goes, bring it back. And same thing Lord Krishna will say. Yato yato nischarati. Tatas tatas sanyamya etat. So each time it goes back, bring it back. Goes away, bring it back. So this is how to take care of laya and vikshepa. What about the other two? Sakashayam vijaniyat. Don't say, oh, I have an unconscious, I have terrible time, I don't know. It's not that you have a terrible time. Unconscious mind is a blessing. That is how one was able to grow up despite the difficulties that one has seen in one's life. The unconscious mind is Ishvara Srishti. It's not going anywhere. It is just going to integrate into the child is going to integrate into the adult. That's all. And one doesn't come under the spell of the unconscious mind as one studies this knowledge and internalizes it more and more. So, Pujya Swamiji used to give a very good example. He used to say that, let's say suddenly there is a power outage, power cut. Suddenly, none of the lights and fans are working in your house and it is pitch dark. So, what does one do? One quickly opens the window and looks into the neighbor's house next door, or the neighbor's house across the street, and then you find that all the houses are in darkness. So similarly, this unconscious is everybody has it. You have not been singled out to have the kashaya. So kashayam vijaniya, there itself is a big relief. Sampraptva, when you encounter the kashaya, na vichalayet, don't take a stirring stick and then try to, just go into the, let's say there is some kind of horribly smelling fungus pond sludge, foul smelling water from a fungus filled pond, mold filled pond. And then you say, here it is in this glass. Let's see what causes it to smell so bad. If you keep, taking a stick and stirring it, what will happen? The smell will be even more potently released into the environment. And so do not do that. Do not try to query the unconscious mind. Why? Because right now you're meditating. You just acknowledge it is there. You show it the light of the Sakshi. You show it the torchlight of Sakshita. You say, I am looking at you. Yes, you are here. You acknowledge its presence. But you don't try to say, why did this happen? Where did I go wrong? And how should I have done this? And is it mother's fault or father's fault or uncle's fault or grandfather's fault? Don't go there. That means what? You have run away from the meditation. That's what it means. And then finally, the rasaswadaha means when the pleasant experiences and pleasant sensations in the body, mind, sense complex comes, do na aswadayet, do not taste them. Oh, you're a killjoy. What do you mean you do not taste them? I want to taste them. How else will I get them? If you want to taste them, you are wanting to sit at the floor near the table like a puppy and beg for little scraps. That is what the tasting of pleasant experiences is like. Instead, focus on the taster. Focus on the one that wants to taste and go deeper into the meditation. So all this we will see from Lord Krishna's standpoint, what he says in response to Arjuna's question. Okay, so Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So what did Bhagavan say? Asamshayam Mahabaho. Doubtless, oh you mighty armed one, you have mighty arms, all right, but a feeble, fickle mind. You're not able to conquer, you are able to conquer huge enemies, but you cannot conquer this tiny little mind. So yes, definitely, oh mighty armed one, manaha, the mind is durnigraham, difficult to grasp, and it is chalam, moving all the time. Definitely. But the Guru here doesn't want any excuses. Gives two upayas. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. The mind will come under your vasha. The mind, you will be able to manage the mind, even though it is moving, even though it is restless, even though it is difficult to catch. You will be able to catch this mind. How? Two upayas are given. Upaya means remedies. Two remedial measures are given. What are they? Abhyasa and Vairagya. So abhyasa means very easy. These two are. Abhyasa means repetition. Practice makes perfect. So if I just go to the gym for one session and come out, I will just have what? Pain. I will not have muscles. I will have pain from not having exercised in this particular intense way for so long. I will not have muscles. So I have to go back, go back, go back. Any kind of mastery is like that. Painting, drama, dance, music. I mean, even the world's, most renowned musicians practice for hours a day. That is why if you want to be a good meditator, you have to practice every single day. Once in a while coming and saying, okay, I am not getting this, will not do. You will get it. Abhyasa is repetition. And the second one is what? Vairagya. Vairagya we have already seen. But where does Vairagya come here? Vairagya with regard to the thoughts. I do not take on the thoughts and catch hold of the thoughts. I learn to shed the thoughts. After the study of the Upanishad, I have to shed everything. I have to shed the thoughts. I have to shed going after the thoughts. I have to shed the habit of shunning the thoughts away. I have to shed the habits of fright, flight, freeze, and fawn. All this have to go away. So these are the two. Vairagya is another practice, and then Vairagya means letting go of the mind, letting go of holding on to anything, just letting go. This is Vairagyena cha grihyate. And then further he said, Asamyatatmana yoga. Asamyatatmana. Samyatatmana means the mind for whom is well managed. Samyatatmana. The one who is able to manage the mind nicely, Samyatatmana. Asanyatatmana means the one who is not able to manage the mind at all. Yoga, this kind of yoga, this knowledge is dushprapaha. Dushprapaha means it is not easily gained. It is difficult. Dukkhena praptaha dushprapaha. Dukkhena praptaha. It is gained with lot of difficulty. It is because why? There is no adhikaritvam, the mind is not managed. Shama is not there, Dama is not there, discipline is not there, Vairagya is not there, Abhyasa is not there, and so therefore it is asamyatatmanaha, and tena, by him or her, the yoga is difficult to gain. Iti me matihi. This is my view. Actually, what is Bhagavan's view? Bhagavan's view becomes a fact. This is a fact. It's not just his opinion and somebody else can come and give another opinion. Whereas tu Vashyatmana. Vashyatmana is the opposite of Asanyatatmana. Vashyatmana, Atma here meaning mind, by the one who has mastered the mind, Yatata. Yatata means the one who is striving in the proper ways. Appropriately, one is striving according to the message in the Upanishads. Shakyaha avaptum upayataha. With these upayas, shakyaha, it is possible, avaptum, to gain. To gain what? To gain this knowledge, to gain this art of meditation, whatever we want to talk about, to go deeper and have Atma Jnana Nishtha. It is possible. It is possible to do that once the mind is taken care of. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.